it's been a busy week for AI. Timestamps are in the description, so you can jump to whatever you want. So let's get into it. Let's start with Meta's Muse Glimmer 30B because this one is built for something very specific. The idea here is not to compete with the biggest cloud models. The goal is to give you a powerful local model that can see images, understand videos, call tools, and run agent workflows all on your own machine under Apache 2.0. So you can use it however you want. It's 30 billion parameters total, built from a 2 billion parameter vision encoder and a 28 billion parameter text model underneath. And day one, it already works with transformers, llama.cpp and VLLM, so the tooling is ready immediately. The benchmark numbers are interesting. On MCP Atlas, which tests how well a model uses tools and agents, Muse Glimmer hit 75.5, ahead of Gemma 431B at 54.2 and Quen 3.6 27B at 62.5. On AI ME 2026, it scored 94.7, which is genuinely strong for a model this size. SWA Bench Pro came in at 51.2, narrowly edging out Quen 3.6 50.2 and well ahead of Gemma 4's 36.9. The cool thing nobody talked about much is the speculative decoding feature using something they call D-Flash. It lets the model draft tokens faster during generation, and the speed up in demos was pretty clear. The one honest limitation is safety. On CI memories, it had a 26.4% violation rate, worse than Gemma 4's 12.1%. So this is not a model you hand to users without guardrails. Then there is NVIDIA's Nemotron 3.5 lighting, and here is the thing that makes it interesting. You get 30 billion total parameters, but only 3 billion are active at any time. That's a mixture of expert approach combined with Mamba 2 layers, which is unusual. The result is a model trained on over 20 trillion tokens that supports up to 1 million context tokens. It was released on August 11 and it's already available on both Hugging Face and NVIDIA's NIM platform. GPQA Diamond, which tests expert level reasoning in science, came in at 75.44%. SWA Bench Verified hit 51.56%. And the reason people in the developer community are paying attention is that 1 million context length at this active parameter count makes it genuinely interesting for long-running agent loops without breaking the bank. In fairness, the overall benchmark profile is solid but not record-breaking. It's positioned as a workhorse, the kind of model you put inside agents that run all day, not a model you reach for when you need the absolute best answer. Now, here is where it gets really interesting. Quen 3.8 2.4T A95B just became the largest open-weight model release ever from Alibaba and probably the biggest open-weight MOE drop in 2026 so far. 2.4 trillion total parameters with 95 billion active per token. Native context of 262,000 tokens, extensible to over 1 million. It's available to download on Hugging Face right now, though it ships under Alibaba's own custom license rather than Apache 2.0. So if you are planning to build a product on top of it, the terms are worth reading carefully. This is a text-only reasoning model, and thinking mode is always on. So every response comes with a reasoning trace before the final answer. The model is the open-weight version of Quen 3.8 Max, which Alibaba launched as their closed API flagship earlier this month. According to Alibaba's own launch benchmarks, Quen 3.8 Max scored 86.1 on OS World Verified, a test that measures how well an agent operates a real desktop environment, ahead of GPT 5.6 Sol Max at 83.2 and Claude Fable 5 at 85.0. The architecture uses 92 layers with gated DeltaNet MOE blocks and gated attention in a repeating pattern, with 512 experts total and 10 routed plus 1 shared active at a time. For anyone who wants to run a frontier class MOE locally, this is now the most capable option available. Grok 4.6 launched on August 12th, and it's a focused update rather than a dramatic new release. The context window is 500,000 tokens. It handles text and image inputs, and pricing starts at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens below 200k prompt length, then doubles to $4 and $12 above that. There is also a new reasoning level called xhigh on top of the existing low, medium, and high options. xAI describes it as their frontier model for coding, agentic tasks, and knowledge work. It's the default model for Grok build their coding agent, and it's available on Cursor across all plans. The detail worth noting is that Grok 4.6 has no text output limit, which matters for long coding and document tasks where previous models would cut you off. Solar Pro 4 from Upstage is one of the biggest surprise of the week because the benchmark jump is significant. Terminal Bench 2.1, which measures how well a model completes real terminal tasks, went from 12% on Solar Pro 3 to 57% on Solar Pro 4. AALCR, the long context reasoning benchmark, jumped from 31% to 71%. Around Tau-Cubed banking, which tests multi-turn tool use across a large knowledge base, it went from 9% to 23%. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, it scored 42, a 27-point jump over Solar Pro 3. It has a 512,000 token context window, and pricing is $0.30 per million input tokens and $1.20 per million output tokens. Though a 90% launch promo is running through September 10. What makes this model different from Upstage's other current release like Solar Open 2 is that Solar Pro 4 is fully API based and built specifically for long multi-step agent jobs, not for self-hosting. The one honest weakness worth knowing is hallucination rate, sitting at 24%, which is higher than some competitors at the same price tier. But for agent workloads that need terminal access and long document handling, the performance numbers are real. Alibaba's 1.3.0 launched into public beta on August 6, and the headline number is 30 seconds. Most AI video generators today top out at 15 seconds, including the previous 1.2.7 model. 1.3.0 generates up to 30 seconds in a single continuous pass without stitching clips together, which means smooth camera moves and unbroken shots are now possible. But the feature that really caught people's attention is document input. You can feed it a PDF, a PowerPoint, a spreadsheet, or a web page, and it builds a video from the content inside. Text, image, audio, and video were already supported. Documents are new. Output goes up to 1080p and pricing is $0.20 per second at 1080p. So a full 30-second clip at the highest quality runs about $6. The API is still rolling out and there are no open weights for this version. xAI's Grok Imagine Image 2.0 landed on August 7 and the numbers back up the hype. It ranks second in the world on both the image edit arena and the text to image arena on LMSYS as of launch day. The main thing that separates it from Image 1.0 is instruction following. If you ask for dense text in a layout, it plans the typography the way a designer would instead of guessing. Editing tools are significantly improved too. There is a magic wand that changes exactly the region you point at without touching the rest. Segmentation for precise area control. Background removal with transparent output ready to use immediately, and multi-reference editing that accepts up to 5 input images at once. There is also Smart Resize, which reframes a single image into any aspect ratio automatically. It's available on Grok.com, iOS, Android, and through the API as Grok Imagine Image 2.0. And then OpenAI dropped agent plugins on August 6th. And the developer community reaction was very positive. The idea is one shared standard built together with AWS, Cursor, GitHub, VS Code, and Vercel that packages agent skills and MCP server configurations into a single portable format. The point is simple. Build a plugin once, use it across every compatible client. Codex already shipped support for installing these plugins and searching across local, personal, workspace, and remote plugin catalogs. By August 11, the compatibility matrix had expanded to 7 client entries with ChatGPT and Codex listed together. What made the reaction so positive is that instead of every tool creating its own incompatible plugin format, this is a genuine multi-welder agent on a shared standard. The practical benefit for anyone building agent workflows is that your tools travel with you across clients and your team can share plugins without rebuilding them for every platform. Looking at this week as a whole, the direction is pretty clear. Local inference, agent workflows, longer context, better tool use. Every lab is converging on the same set of problems at the same time. Drop your thoughts below on which of these updates matters most to you. Make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one.